enter the lesson, but let's go. So hello Rafa, hello Jesse, here we are. Let's begin. This is going to be part 3 and 4 of the first certificate, and now it's going to be an interesting topic, okay? We're gonna play this part together, and then we're gonna go through the real exercise, okay? In this part, you will have 5 speakers. Each speaker talks about a related topic. Read the questions carefully before you listen, and you can listen to the audio twice. So it's super important here. Again, what's the perfect moment to read the options? In part 3, I really recommend, strongly recommend, listening part 3. I strongly recommend to read the options first. The audio is going to give you also a couple of seconds before you answer. And so let's read over here. Let me check if you can read over here. Can you see the words clearly?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so let's read them. Good. Help me. Let's begin with Jesse. Jesse, help me reading the options: A, B, C, D, E, and E. Jesse there. Well, Rafa, help us, Rafa. 1, 2, 3, action.
Teacher, we made this exercise before.
Did we? No.
Really?
We did
I don't
exercise 1, bro. We did part 1 and part 2. We haven't made part 3.
Well, I remember this exercise. Just I don't remember where. But well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the nature of computer games could benefit society.
Oh, pronunciation. Could benefit what?
Society?
Okay, let's go to the
Society.
dictionary. Yeah.
Society? No?
No.
Society.
Society. Society.
Society. Okay, the nature of computer games could benefit society. Restrictions are discouraging discouraging gamers from buying games legally.
From doing what again?
Buying?
What is the action of purchase?
Buying?
Buy. Ah, okay.
Buying.
ING buying.
Okay.
Okay, again.
Okay. Restrictions are discouraging gamers from buying games legally.
Good. Question, guys. What is discouraging? Who knows what is that?
Something that you don't want to do anymore, something that doesn't allow you to do it.
Close.
Well, there could be something that you want to do, but there are some factors that affect you, and you cannot do it, and you feel like maybe disappointed to it.
Okay, the last part is
I don't
correct. No, the last part is correct.
Okay.
You said that it was you feel disappointed and you don't want. That's different because it's not about not being able. If you say you can't, then it's a different thing. But if you say that you don't want to do it, okay, that's discouraging. You are discouraged when you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
You know? Opposite of discourage?
Courage?
Exactly.
Oh,
Very good.
yes.
Encourage.
Yes,
Positive.
encourage.
To encourage a person is to motivate a person. To discourage a person is to make the person lose motivation. Got it? Everybody agree with this? Rafa, and in the case Sandy, now that she's here, did you agree?
Yeah, teacher.
Cool. Perfect. So next option, Rafa.
Yeah. Too many children are addicted to online games. Computer games prevent children learning other things. Game regulations need to take several things into account.
Again, who need to take several things?
Into account?
No, who? Who need to take several things into account?
Game regulators.
Regulators, exactly, not regulations.
Yeah, game regulators need to take several things into account. People are unnecessary. You, teacher, I
What's
can
up?
see.
Whoops. Sorry.
People are unnecessarily worried about the harmful effects of games.
Perfect. Questions about the vocabulary. What is the difference between regulator and regulation?
The difference?
Yeah.
The regulator is the doer. Regulation is the thing.
Okay,
Like,
I like it. Okay. So a regulator, in the case of regulator, in this particular context, what is a regulator? Because I think we need to understand it deeply.
regulator is like prefecto.
Very good. Excellent. That's it. An institution or a group of people who authorizes things in many ways, legal terms of things and products, no? Things like that.
Yes.
Okay. So I want you to do this, okay? Please take a piece of paper or let me take a screenshot of this. No, I cannot take a picture. What if I do this? Breaking the matrix. And then I go to paint. And I do this. Perfect. I'm going to send you the options through WhatsApp. Okay? And then you are going to use those to label each speaker. We have how many speakers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 speakers. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 answers, six labels. This means that one is going to be extra. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So let's what do I do? Okay, are you ready, guys? In the case of Sadie, have I? You are already in the group, right? In the WhatsApp group.
Yep.
Great.
From the WhatsApp, I don't know. Let me see. Oh yeah, you said
Yes.
yesterday. Yeah.
Perfect. So then, everybody has this file, okay?
Oh yeah.
You need to label each speaker with one label according to what they say. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
I'm gonna play the audio twice. 1, 2.
Speaker 1.
Some children just can't live without it. They really are hooked. The colours die away and your kids scream in protest. It's as if you've just taken a drug away from them. We've got to accept the fact that these machines are having a terrible effect on children's standards of literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days. They feel that they have to do it to pass tests. so they just stare at the screen pushing those buttons. They don't have to use their brains or their memory. These gadgets are the cause of so much underachievement in today's society.
Speaker 2. One of the things games developers have to worry about is how to prevent people from copying the games illegally and distributing them on the internet. Some companies have gone to great lengths to make sure that everyone who plays the game is a legitimate user. For example, you might have to have a permanent internet connection to play. This is a problem for some people if their internet connection isn't reliable, so they prefer to buy pirated versions which don't have all these restrictions. Speaker 3.
I realise that a lot of these pay-for-free games are designed to become addictive. You play for free, but once you've invested time and effort into your game, you start paying real money to progress further into the game. With people spending huge sums of money on virtual items, I can see why governments might want to regulate games like these. But on the other side, these gaming companies are businesses and they need to make money. Governments should focus on the industry's business model rather than the game content. It's a balancing act, because the last thing you want to do is stamp out the creativity of small companies.
Speaker 4.
A lot of games are attractive because the virtual world is fairer than the real world. Your success isn't determined by your age, social status or education. Your peers are loyal, and when you do something good, you are instantly rewarded. So there's a real sense of achievement. The sense of community in the gaming world is actually really strong. And what we really need to do is bring some of this spirit of working together and accomplishing tasks into the real world. People should stop criticizing these games and start thinking about how we can incorporate the positive spirit of gaming into our real lives.
Speaker 5.
There have been a lot of studies into whether gaming encourages violent behaviour, but as far as I know, they haven't been able to come up with any conclusive evidence. Juvenile crime in the States is at a 30-year low, and there is also some evidence that most antisocial acts are committed by kids who don't play computer games. I reckon all this hype about violent games is a bigger problem than the games themselves. It makes adults suspicious of their kids and tries to blame big social issues on games rather than eliminating the real cause of youth problems, such as home life and mental stability.
Speaker 1.
20 seconds to try to level, and then I play it again. Now listen again.
Speaker 1.
Some children just can't live without it. They really are hooked. The colours die away and your kids scream in protest. It's as if you've just taken a drug away from them. We've got to accept the fact that these machines are having a terrible effect on children's standards of literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days. They feel that they have to do it to pass tests, so they just stare at the screen pushing those buttons. They don't have to use their brains or their memory. These gadgets are the cause of so much underachievement in today's society.
Speaker 2. One of the things games developers have to worry about is how to prevent people from copying the games illegally and distributing them on the internet. Some companies have gone to great lengths to make sure that everyone who plays the game is a legitimate user. For example, you might have to have a permanent internet connection to play. This is a problem for some people if their internet connection isn't reliable, so they prefer to buy pirated versions which don't have all these restrictions. Speaker 3.
I realise that a lot of these pay-for-free games are designed to become addictive. You play for free, but once you've invested time and effort into your game, you start paying real money to progress further into the game. With people spending huge sums of money on virtual items, I can see why governments might want to regulate games like these. But on the other side, these gaming companies are businesses and they need to make money. Governments should focus on the industry's business model rather than the game content. It's a balancing act, because the last thing you want to do is stamp out the creativity of small companies.
Speaker 4.
A lot of games are attractive because the virtual world is fairer than the real world. Your success isn't determined by your age, social status, or education. Your peers are loyal, and when you do something good, you are instantly rewarded. So there's a real sense of achievement. The sense of community in the gaming world is actually really strong. And what we really need to do is bring some of this spirit of working together and accomplishing tasks into the real world. People should stop criticising these games and start thinking about how we can incorporate the positive spirit of gaming into our real lives.
Speaker 5.
There have been a lot of studies into whether gaming encourages violent behaviour, but as far as I know, they haven't been able to come up with any conclusive evidence. Juvenile crime in the States is at a 30-year low, and there is also some evidence that most antisocial acts are committed by kids who don't play computer games. I reckon all this hype about violent games is a bigger problem than the games themselves. It makes adults suspicious of their kids and tries to blame big social issues on games rather than eliminating the real cause of youth problems, such as home life and mental stability.
Wow, Rafa, you detected this exercise really quick. You are correct. We did that in one exam. Yes. How did you detect it so quick?
Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah. Well,
Just
good.
the answer. No, not the answers. Just the.
Yeah, because in the exam we only did it twice and we didn't analyze it. But the reason we had this exercise in the exam, it was precisely to get you in the way or in the mood of the real exam. So yes, that's precisely the objective. You have a very good memory. Good job. So my people, let's see which one is which. Tell me, for example, Isaac, which one is speaker one talking about and why?
The speaker one have. Could you show the answers, please?
Sure.
I got many. Yes. I think that the answer is 2, 3, 4. Or computer games prevent children learning other things.
All right. How do you know that?
Because I don't remember exactly the words that the speaker said, but I remember there's a woman that mentioned a lot of things about how children react when you try to how can I say it? To stop when you try children to stop playing video games or games, and they also mentioned that they are losing the interest or the ability to pay attention to other things.
Good.
And that's it. I don't remember more, but I remember that part. And
That's enough.
Yes.
That's enough words. I mean, when you say those two, you are saying exactly what we need, because they lose interest and they don't like to listen to another thing. So here,
They really are hooked. The colours die away and your kids scream in protest. It's as if you've just taken a drug away from them. We've got to accept the fact that these machines are having a terrible effect on children's standards of literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days. They feel that they have to do it to pass tests.
Here, kids aren't interested in reading these days. Right here.
Speaker 1.
Got to accept the fact that these machines are having a terrible effect on children's standards of literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days.
This pronunciation of the verb are is very British, and probably that can create a little bit of an issue. Okay, look at how the R in the blue standard is between parentheses. Meanwhile, in the red standard, it is not with parentheses. Do you see what I mean? Or do you know why this is like that?
No, no, I don't know why, but yes, you can notice the difference.
But what difference do you notice? Because if you notice the difference, it's because you know why.
I feel that the pronunciation of the R is like stronger, no?
The opposite, it's weaker.
Really?
When we are talking in British English, the R sounds like a vowel. So you need to open your mouth to pronounce R. So when I'm in American pronunciation, it will be R with a r.
R.
But in British English, you need to open the mouth and say ah. You see?
Yes.
Everybody pronounce it ah.
Oh,
That's the R in British English. So what happens when R meets not? Contraction are not, pronunciation aren't in American Standard, and aren't in British Standard. There's no tongue movement. You only need to say aren't. Kids aren't interested. Everybody pronounce kids aren't interested.
Kids aren't interested.
kids are thirsty.
Aren't. Not aren't. Aren't is American. Aren't.
Oh, ain't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like.
But
yeah,
watch
yeah.
out, it's not ain't. No. Watch out.
That's
It's not
different.
ain't. That's a very different thing. No.
It's like an informal way to say
to say the
aren't.
verb to be. But
Like,
this is not ain't. Because
there's
ain't is a different sound.
There's a song by Bon Jovi, It's My Life.
Many songs are. Many
Yeah.
songs. It's my life and hip hop.
But this song says I'm gonna live forever.
I ain't gonna live forever, which is similar to say I am not going to, but if there are so many syllables that they prefer to concise it in a single I ain't gonna live.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
That's a very different thing because ain't sounds A and aren't sounds ah. So the phonetic is very different.
Okay.
This is not ain't. It's a different pronunciation for the same word. Just imagine the R, the letter R disappears. Aunt. Do you see what I mean? Or not?
Yes.
Yes. That's important. I would say that in all the differences that exist in British English, this is the most meaningful. The most important. The verb to be. Listen.
Speaker 1.
Literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days.
What did she say?
Who?
Anyone? What did she say?
Children aren't interested.
Children aren't interested in memory again.
Literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days.
Children aren't interested in red on these days.
Red, color red.
Read.
Read. If read
Reading.
is a hobby or an activity, you don't say the verb in simple form. How do you say it?
Reading.
Reading. Exactly. Confirmation.
Standards of literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days.
Hey, what did you say?
Oh, sorry. Can you repeat?
Yeah, like what did she say? I just made a question.
Did she say kids or children? I don't remember.
Don't worry, you tell me. Is this a kids or children?
I don't remember. I think children aren't interested in reading on these days.
Exactly. Read on. She never said on.
In reading?
Spanish. In
Yeah.
reading? No. When you say these days, we never
On
say
these
on
days.
these days.
Oh,
They
no?
say on.
These days?
She
Only
never
these
said
days?
on. Exactly.
Okay.
Confirmation.
Terrible effect on children's standards of literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days.
Do you agree?
Yes.
So one of the first things that we need to analyze here is, yes, the accents can be very standard, except for some specific words. The verb to be is one of the issues that I have had with many students before. So that's why when she says that they are not interested, this is the one that we mentioned here. Prevent children learning other things. Other things like reading. Right? Do you agree?
Yep.
Did everybody understand what I'm talking about? Because only Rafa and Isaac is answering. Next.
Yes, teacher.
Yes? Do you understand the difference on pronunciation?
Yes. But
Yes.
can you repeat other time?
Sure. Let's listen.
Terrible effect on children's standards of literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days. Standards of literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days.
Okay.
Kids just aren't. This aren't is our aren't.
Yes.
You know? Even it sounds like double another syllable. Right? In the case of Sabdi, what do you notice that one?
Sorry?
Did you notice the difference, how it sounds in British English? Very
Yeah.
hard. Okay. Are you confused or what?
No, I think well, when you hear in the conversation, yeah, it's really difficult to understand that is interesting.
Exactly. Because we are used to using R or expecting the R in some moment. So that's a little difference. Some of the things. So in British English there are three differences: the R, the T, and some S's. But I would say that that's it. Only the R and the T. The rest is the same. Exactly the same. Right?
Yes.
Very good. So let's pass to the next, number 2. Tell me, what is your answer, Jimena? Can you speak, girl? Are you busy at the lab, or did you do the exercise?
No, I'm in the exercise.
Cool. Okay. So what answer do you have on number 2?
On number 2. Okay, I mixed the answers.
Oh.
Okay, and I don't remember which is the second speaker.
Okay.
I mixed the speakers in my mind.
Oh, okay. So then we need to
Okay.
listen again.
Ah,
If it was an exam, what would be the answer?
if what?
If this were the exam, if this were the real exam, which would you answer?
Um. mm, Um, really, I mix the speakers, so I know the idea of all of them, but I am confused. But I don't know. I really don't know.
So you would leave it empty in the exam?
No, no, teacher, no. Um, restriction
Uh-huh.
restrictions are discouraging gamers from buying games legally.
Okay, let's see if you're right.
They feel that they have to do it to pass tests, so they just
Speaker 2. One of the things games developers have to worry about is how to prevent people from copying the games illegally and distributing them on the internet. Some companies have gone to great lengths to make sure that everyone who plays the game is a legitimate user. For example, you might have to have a permanent internet connection to play. This is a problem for some people if their internet connection isn't reliable, so they prefer to buy pirated versions which don't have all these restrictions.
They prefer to buy pirated versions. Pirated versions. She's a verb. To copy and use or sell somebody's work or a product without permission or without having the right to do so. Pirate in past.
Fire.
Try.
Pirated.
Rut. Pirate.
Pirated.
Excellent. Pirated.
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 Pirated. Like to copy something.
Right. And sell it illegally.
Pirated. Pirated.
Right? That's the one he says.
Okay.
So they prefer to buy pirated versions which don't have all these restrictions.
Pirated versions whose doesn't have all these restrictions. So in the exam you would be correct. That's why it's so important to, even if you don't remember the speaker, answer it. Don't leave a space empty. You have 50% chance to do it.
I will not leave a space empty, but I won't. I won't know if it is correct or not.
Exactly. Yes. Just at the end, no? Exactly.
But I think you will have
I'm
a
very
chance.
lucky.
Yes, you're very lucky. And
Really?
Isaac says that we will have a
Sometimes
chance.
I have 10 in an exam, and it's just lucky, you know.
Well,
That's not my truly knowledge.
okay. Yeah. Well, who knows? I mean, probably is your knowledge, and you are assuming that it's luck. Who knows? You know. Probably
If
you know
you
more than you think.
that, okay.
Yes, of course. Trust yourself.
I trust you.
Okay, and I trust you.
I trust you.
So Isaac said, "What do you say? You have more chance, no? If you answer it."
Yes, if you answer, even if you are not sure about the option that you choose, you will have a little chance to get it right. No?
Yes. Yes. Just divide 6 between 5, and you will get your
percentage.
Exactly your probability. Exactly. So yeah, that's it. Okay. What about number 3?
You just need to listen.
You just need to listen, like Ivana said. Exactly.
That's it.
That's it. It's a listening. So I listen. Perfect. That's the way. Okay, next, number 3. Jesse, what answer do you have on number 3? Jessie, are you there? I think she's not here.
Yes, teacher. I am not sure. I think it's game regulators
Okay. Game regulators.
need to take several things into account.
Good. How do you know that?
Oh, I don't remember the idea, but I write something. I remember that he talked about the balance with the companies and with the I don't remember um
Yes.
with the companies and with the how do you say like damage? I
Damage.
don't know if
Yes.
damage.
Or damages. Okay, you're close. I mean, you use the global idea, which I think you're right. Let's use it.
Paying play for free, but won't become addicted. I realise that a lot of these pay-for-free games are designed to become addictive. You play for free, but once you've invested time and effort into your game, you start paying real money to progress further into the game. With people spending huge sums of money on virtual items, I can see why governments might want to regulate games like these.
Did you get the idea, Jesse, in this case?
Not complete, but I understand the balance with the governments and the companies. But I think the general idea is just that they need to regulate
Need
for
is a verb, regulate is a verb, connector for the two
just
verbs.
they need to regulate for the damage.
Connector. Need, regulate. Need, regulate.
Need regulate.
Connector for two verbs. What is a connector for two verbs?
What?
What is a connector that you use between two verbs?
To
Exactly. So what do they need?
need to regulate.
Excellent. They need to regulate what?
Um, I am not sure to say. Maybe I don't know the idea. Maybe how do you say? I am the use. Maybe
Uh-huh.
the
They
use of
use
the play video. Bueno, oh, no, the use. Yes, the frequency maybe.
close. So the fact that you heard government and regulation, that gave you the answer. But the reason is not the time or addiction. No. The reason
Mhm.
is money. Because the woman says that people start spending real money into these games.
Okay. No, it's about the game. It's about the money for buy
It's
the game.
about the money. No, the
Okay.
money that you use in the game.
Okay.
You know, listen again.
On virtual items, I can see why government are paying real money to progress further into the game.
Are paying real money to
To buy.
buy kinda. Listen again.
Invested time and effort into your game, you start paying real money to progress further into the game.
Stressful, something like that. I don't.
Your syllable S is correct, but it's incomplete. Who can help Jessie? What did she say? What does the woman say in the audio? Let's listen again.
You start paying real money to progress further into the game.
Anyone? I repeat.
Time and effort into your game, you start paying real money to progress further into the game.
No?
No, teacher.
Nobody understands this?
No, teacher, could you repeat it?
Okay.
Your game, you start paying real money to progress further into the game.
Something like crossfire into the game.
Close. Close. It's not prosper, but you're close. Is that Silvana or who is it?
Yeah, I'm just arriving.
Oh, hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. Perfect. So you're very close. Something into the game. You said something like prosper, no? But prosper, yes, you are close and you are correct on the letter P. Pa, 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 pa. Pro.
I said cross.
Gross? What is gross?
Oh. What did I say?
Gross?
No, with C cross. So I understand something like crossover. Cross. No.
Cross something? No, that's impossible. I gave you a hint. It's a P. It's not a C. Because, for example, Rafa heard people, but the first letter sounds like P, but the rest is very different.
Okay.
Again.
You play for free. Once you've invested time and you start paying real money to progress further into the game. Real money to progress further into the game.
What's fine?
What about that? Okay. Hint. I'm going to give you the definition of the word that you need. This is a verb, and the definition is to improve or develop over a period of time. To improve or develop over a period of time. To move forward. To move forward.
Real money to progress further into the game.
Nobody. I'm going to give you the answer. You start paying real money to progress further into the game.
Really?
Anybody
Progress for
pronunciation?
me?
Ah, okay. I see the reason. How do you pronounce this?
Progress?
Okay. So, accentuation in English is also very important. Progress is the noun. We are using the verb.
Progress.
Do you see that the strong syllable is different?
Yes, it's in the middle of the sentence.
Yes.
The second syllable in the verb is strong.
Progress.
Progress, And in the noun, the first syllable is strong.
At the beginning, no? Yes.
Progress, So progress is a noun.
Progress.
And progress is a verb.
Progress.
To progress further. And then we have the R. The word further has two R's that don't sound because it's British. So what is the pronunciation of this? Anyone? Pronunciation?
Further.
In American English, but in British?
Like father?
Father.
Father. Father. To progress further into the game. You know?
You start paying real money to progress further into the game.
Ta-da. Yes or no? Yes or no? Did you listen or not?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, did you listen the progress further?
Oh, no, teacher.
No, okay, let's repeat.
You start paying real money to progress further into the game.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's difficult to how say to how say to distinguish.
Distinguish.
Yeah,
Yesterday we saw that word.
it's a
Yes.
little confusing because she talks very quickly and it's like father just father how do you convert father to further, like it's
Easy. Just remove the R's.
yeah, but
Could you say the phrase?
Uh-huh.
No, could you?
Me? In British, it will be to progress further into the game. To progress further into the game.
Grandfather.
Further. To progress
No,
further
but
into the game.
I feel or I think that it sounds a little different in area.
Does it really?
Real money to progress further into the game.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not different. It's just removing the R's. But again, it's what we were saying at the beginning of the class. If we see an R, we will expect an R. Even we will expect an R, which that's gonna be impossible to hear in English. But if you don't see these letters, you can see a little bit more of sound, and you can pay more attention on the phonetics, and it's a little bit more difficult to connect audio with alphabets because we are thinking in the alphabet, and our brains are trying to collocate an R.
And I think that the most difficult part is that almost all the time we hear American English.
Yes.
Well, not. It's very different because
Totally.
American omit T and put the sound of R, like
Right.
where, I don't know, literal.
In some cases.
And British do the other case. They put emphasis in some letters than like T.
Right. But check this out. It's a game of words. Like when in Spanish, some people know how to speak with F and add an additional syllable to some of the words. So en español empiezan a hacerle yo fo F fi cojo yo fo afa blofo FNF kufu afa ndofo mifis ifi jofos, Who knows? ¿A quién sabe hablar con F en español? Silvana sabe, ok, ¿quién más? Ok, hay cosas que no podemos hacer eso, right? Ok. Eso es
not
para
English,
otra cosa.
not F language.
¿Cómo? Again? What?
I don't speak English, neither F.
Neither F. Well, eso puede ser un gran ejercicio para facilitarte esta tarea. Porque ahora que descubrimos que, por ejemplo, Silvana sabe hacerlo, es porque tiene la palabra en mente, entonces mete una sílaba entre dos. Entonces crea la misma palabra, pero la pronuncia con una sílaba extra. Right? Entonces, si en ese ejercicio quitas las R's, ¿no? O todas las vocales las hablas en U.
Or just you need to ignore the between of the word and make emphasis in the first and last syllable, like wada, fada.
That's it. You see? And that's another way. That's methodology. It's just removing unnecessary parts and the nature of the language, la naturaleza del lenguaje, the nature of the language doesn't get affected. It's the same language. You just need to
Teacher,
omit some words.
how do you say father in British?
Father, precisely.
Father.
You remove the R.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good observation.
Father. Father.
Opening the mouth with no R.
Yeah, it's a little difference. It's, here is father, and the other word is father.
Father. Father.
There's a close father.
Yeah.
And in a British is father. The ending is
Yeah.
open. But that ending doesn't change the word. The rest of the rest of the phonetics are the same. So there's no big changes. You know?
Yeah. And if you say my father, I don't know, another word with F,
My father, my mother, and my sister. You know?
My father.
Like in TikTok. No. Okay, just give a second because Jessie is in the chat, okay? Hello, Jessie. How are you?
Hello, I am fine,
Hi.
thank you. So I will take attendance.
Yes,
Please, is here Rafael? Hi, Rafael.
Hello, Jessie.
Good night.
Like,
Silvana.
Yes, Silvana está por aquí.
I'm here, Jessie.
Yes. Hi, Silvana. Thank you. And Isaac.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi, Isaac. Thank you. Jessie.
Hello, I am here.
Good night, Jessie. Thank you. Ejime. Jimena.
Sí, siendo por acá. Solo que
Yes.
está en
Hi, Jimena. And welcome,
Hi.
Sadie.
Sorry.
Don't worry. And Sadie.
Sandy.
Yes.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yes. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
All right. See you. Thank you.
See you.
Okay. Okay, very good. So let's continue, right? This is the last one. And we have speaker number 4 and speaker number 5, okay? So Jesse, that was the thing. When you say regulations and you see to progress further into the game, is because it's about the money that people spend in the game.
Okay.
Oh, that's the reason they are asking for regulation.
Okay.
Good. Speaker 4, Sabdi, what's the answer for you? Are you here, Sabdi? Ah, no, she left. Okay, so let's go with Isaac. What is answer number 4?
Yes, could you show the answers?
Sure.
The first one.
The first one, the nature of computer games could benefit society, and why?
Yes, because the speakers mentioned something about how I don't remember exactly. I remember that he mentioned something like you are a better player if based on your knowledge and your money or something like that, and you need to grow up to something like you have to work hard to develop your skills or something like that, and you can apply those things to the real society, so we can be better or something like that. To be honest, I don't remember very well the words, but it's something like that.
Okay. Yes, I think you're right. Let's listen.
Governments should focus on the industry's business model rather.
4.
A lot of games are attractive because the virtual world is fairer than the real world. Your success isn't determined by your age, social status, or education. Your peers are loyal, and when you do something good, you are instantly rewarded. So there's a real sense of achievement. The sense of community in the gaming world is actually really strong. And what we really need to do is bring some of this spirit of working together and accomplishing tasks into the real world.
There it is, right?
Yes. That
Yes, I mean it. Nah, you are lying to me.
we must working together.
We must working together. Fix your structure. We must
We must work together.
work together, and bring. Because
I
he said
don't
something
remember.
about bringing something. The second part was more like that.
I don't remember that part.
To the real world. People should wrong. And what we really need to do is bring some of this spirit of working together and accomplishing tasks into the real world.
Something that we must bring to the real world is this. I don't know, like about work together and also achieving tasks. No.
Exactly, achieving tasks. It's like working together and achieving tasks, which are two actions that can actually benefit society.
Yeah.
Good, excellent. Okay, but yes, you see how important it is to use just like the same ability we used in the videos, but now at quick moments. The fastest we can, memorizing the main idea. We don't need to memorize the whole thing. It's just memorizing these pieces of information, and you can have a backup. Okay. So good, good, good. Let's go with the last one, Rafa. What is the answer of the last one?
Can I see the answers, please?
Sure.
Is too many children are addicted to online games.
Is that the answer?
Yeah, I think so.
How do you know that?
Because I remember, was she mentioned about the effects? I don't remember. I really don't remember the exactly. But I remember that this option, I I thought this option is the correct.
Okay, but do you remember anything on the audio?
Hmm. Yeah, no, teacher, I don't remember the
No problem,
exactly.
brother. Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually wrong. The correct one is the
Oh.
one
The
about
last one. No?
the last one. People are unnecessarily
Oh,
worried.
okay.
Why? Because there is a point when the person speaks about that some
Oh.
people are worried about some things that are not necessarily worrying. Listen to this.
As far as I know, they haven't been able to come up with any conclusive evidence. Juvenile crime in the States is at a 30-year low, and there is also some evidence that most antisocial acts are committed by kids who don't play computer games.
Yeah.
So she's talking about crime and how crime is not directly associated with video games. There's no much evidence about that,
Yeah.
according to the speaker. And those are our answers. We took some time, so some of the things that we need to check when we are studying English and we want to improve, especially our listening, is definitely pay attention to the phonetics. I think we took a long time to memorize these easy symbols. We took a very, very long time because we thought that, oh, they are very strange symbols. I don't need them. They are not necessary. And then you get a listening and oh surprise, they are actually necessary. So as you can see, phonemes are so important on listening, or no, even in language, in English, especially in English, because English is not a phonetic language. English was written after it was invented. First, it was heard, then it was copied, and then it was written at the end. The writing of English is very modern, very postmodernist. And before that, everything was listened. That's why you need to start learning the language by listening, not by reading and writing. Reading and writing is useful for other activities, but if you want to improve your English, your listening, you need to study phonetics. Turn off the 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 captions when you watch movies, and just listen. Just listen and listen and listen and expose yourself to the language. Okay?
Teacher, there's a
Without
podcast.
the letter?
Thinking in English is on Spotify, and it's
That's very
cool.
good. Okay, well, we can use that one too. You
Yeah,
can use
today I was walking to my house and
listening
listening
to
to
that.
the podcast, and it's it's made by a Japanese guy who moved to UK even for this exam to UK, and he wanted to thinking in English.
Well,
To thinking
actually, that is not a bad idea, eh? That is not a bad idea.
thinking in English
Thinking in
is
English.
and it and there and he
Okay, I
talks
know which
about
one.
the about his experiences and a lot of topics.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. To listen to a lot of English is a very good idea. But I'm gonna help you with some things. Here, this podcast is about learning English, and for you, it's very interesting because you like these kind of topics. But for some people, it will be so tedious and boring listening to a person who is talking about learning English. So I strongly recommend that if you are going to, if you have some extra time, and if you're working, you're at the office listening to music, you can change this for some really, really, really good podcasts. You know, let me check if I can change my this. How do you do that? How do you enter? The application is new. Well, here it is. Here you can see some podcasts that can be very, very, very interesting for. It depends on what you like, no? In my case, my list of podcasts includes news, YouTubers, cinema, and TV shows. Joe Rogan, of course, is the standard one. And here, for example, these guys who made a Nickelodeon TV show many years ago when I was young, today they make a podcast, so it's super fun to listen to the backstage stories or technology, which is in my personal case. But Rafa, you are interested in people speaking about their experience learning English. For you, is a very, very good thing. You know? Thinking in English, I think this is a great, great podcast. In my case, I got a little bit bored listening to this because I know this one.
Yes,
But
there's another one that well, I like to listen. The science versus. I think that I already mentioned it.
The what?
The science versus.
The science. The science versus. Space versus.
Yes, well, BS on that one.
BS. Oh, science versus. Okay. And what is it? You have never mentioned this.
Yes. a few weeks ago.
Did you really? I don't forget this one. I don't remember this one.
Yes.
Interesting. And what is this about?
Well, about a lot of things. For example, the last one that I was listening was about super viruses and how, well, super bacteria. Is it correct, bacteria? They say super bugs. I don't remember if they super bugs, and how they are resistant to the antibiotics, and why it's important to try to avoid
Amazing.
how to make it.
There it is. That's a very good fact.
Yeah,
A
but
very good
there
point.
are a lot of topics here. I remember that
I
I
can see
hear.
that, yeah. Monkeypox, abortion, placebo. There's a lot of science stuff here. So
Yeah,
interesting.
and they are really interesting.
Mhm. There we go. We have one for Jimena. Jimena loves this. Jimena
I love
really
this.
loves
This
this.
is my thesis. The antibiotic resistance of gram-negative
Look at
bacteria
that.
in sepsis cases.
Look at that.
That's
Yes,
interesting.
I recommend it.
That's a great, great, great way. And it's now farther away from learning like a teacher is speaking. Like I
Yes,
know how boring it
yes.
is to listen to a teacher. I really know.
Actually, there are some interviews between the host and some experts in each subject. So that's something interesting. But obviously, there is something. Sometimes I find it a little difficult because I don't have the vocabulary to understand everything.
Yeah, that's why it's important to listen, but also be very open-minded in case you don't see another word, you don't understand something, to listen again, to listen again the same episode. If you are really, really, really interested in a topic, naturally you want to listen again and understand it very well. That's why it's so important to find a podcast that you like,
Yes.
that is
Yeah,
in your interest.
actually, the third one is the last that I listened to.
Superbox.
Superbox Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. Exactly. If you're interested in that topic, again, good job.
I was not, but it was interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Yes, at least you can learn something new.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. In the case of Jesse, for example, what kind of podcasts do you hear?
I don't used to listen, but sometimes. But for example, it was for learning English, and the spend is slow. It's like maybe for A2 or it's beginning B1, and he talk about his experience of life, travel, I don't remember the name of the name of this guy, but he talked about his life.
Is this a YouTuber or what is it?
Not in Spotty.
No, yeah, but is he? Why is he interesting to you?
Because I understood. Because I
Oh,
understood. Because he told but slow.
but what is he? Is he or
He's a teacher. A teacher.
okay. He talks about classes.
Yes, is a teacher of English, and
Oh,
he do or create the podcast for people who
Who wants to learn? I think that it's English time, no? Maybe the
yes.
name of the English time. Yes, I have heard it, but yes, I feel that it's something more basic.
is
English.
this one?
Is it? No, that's that
No,
one. That one.
the second.
Is that one? No, English time. But he's an American or British guy that
No, I
come,
think he's Mexican.
no, he came
Oh,
to live to Mexico, and he talks about his experience here in Mexico City.
I
For
think
example,
it's
about
listening
the
time.
weather. Yes.
Listening time?
Listening time.
Yes,
No.
listening time.
Yes.
And that's yes, by the way. Yes.
Okay.
But actually, he mentioned on the podcast that those are like basic
Yes.
audios. But if you
For
want to
basic
practice
listening.
more, you need to pay for the other for the
So probably a good
advanced course.
recommendation for Jesse would be Rafa's suggestion. Because if you are interested in that, if you have no problem listening to a teacher, then Rafa's suggestion is the best. The best. You know, the one that was taken
Yeah,
to
it's,
English.
it's like storytelling way, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. Storytelling with a little bit more intermediate vocabulary and things like that.
Yes.
Definitely. I totally agree. Jesse, you should start listening to that one. Because if this is basic,
Yes,
then
it's basic.
then you need to force yourself to push further, and you should listen to something like like the one that Rafa said, or a TED talk. You know,
I like the TED talk.
exactly. TED talks are really good, and things like that. That's right.
Teacher, tomorrow is the exam,
Tomorrow is exam.
and do I have to connect? Because I understood I don't do the exam.
Don't worry, it will be only Isaac, Rafa, Silvana, and that's it.
And that's it. Yes.
And that's
Okay.
it. So don't worry, tomorrow,
The
Jesse,
Bible.
you have a free day, and the rest come to your exam. I'll see you then tomorrow, guys. All right, have a very good
Okay,
day.
teacher. Thank you.
I'm gonna
See
pass
you.
you the link of the last exercise because we didn't finish the last one, part 4.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so if you want to practice, it's gonna be this one.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a nice day. See you later.
Bye.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.